Okay, we're back. Next tutorial. Real short one. Talk about switches. We're going to use switches a few different spots. Here's a lever switch is what this is called. This switch right here, when the horse is going down the track, runs past it, pushes the switch, sends a signal to the board that, hey, horse finished, or the horse is at the starting line. So these are used on the finish and starting lines. Here's another switch right here. This is a button switch. This little red button right here. So the button actually goes over top of it. If you have illuminated buttons, you'll have the light in here. And when you push the button, it'll push this little thing. And it's got the same three switches, or the three pieces as the lever switch here. You got the plus 5 volts, the minus 5 volts, and then if the button is pushed, it will send a 5 volt signal out through this one. And on the lever switch here, the front one is the signal, the middle one is plus 5 volts, and then the back one is ground. Same thing, if it's pushed, this front one here will send out the signal 5 volts. If not, it'll be hooked up to the ground. So every button is a switch. That's 40 for 4 stations, and then you got the cash out button, so that's another 4, and then add 10 for the start line and finish line sensors. So you'll be dealing with quite a few switches, 54 on a 4 station. Let's look at switches online. Radio Shack, here's this switch right here. This one was probably purchased from Radio Shack. One switch, $3.49. One thing I can say about the Radio Shack switches is they are better than the ones that you'll order on eBay. They're just more durable. When I had to take some off of a board, I wanted to move it or change it or something. The ones that I bought off of eBay just instantly broke. But if you don't really have to move them, if you're not taking it apart and put it back together like I did a bunch of times, not really something you have to worry about. Usually you stick them in there, they'll be fine. They worked fine when they were in there, just when I wanted to move them, that was the problem. If you do go to eBay and look at these switches, here's 10 of them for $3.19, free shipping, so 32 cents each. And if that's all you'll need of these lever switches here. You don't need them for each individual button, and I'll show you why here in the next one. So when you buy buttons for your betting station, you buy them in lots of 10. You might be able to buy them in lots of 20, but I made mine all 4 different colors. I believe you can make them all red, which I think is the real derby. They're all red. You can do that if you want. But when you do buy them, make sure you get the ones with the micro switch that's over here on the left. Make sure you get the ones with the micro switch built in. It'll save you a whole lot of time and hassle, opposed to having to put a relay on each individual board. So it's not really that much more money, if any money, to have the micro switch on it already. So get the ones with the micro switch. Here's 10 buttons for US dollars, $12.61. So $1.20 a switch, and you'll need 40 of them, so you're at $50 for all your switches, for your push buttons at least. And if you do decide to go with different buttons, I used an actual cash out button for the cash out. You don't have to do that. You could just use a button like this and write cash out, or burn it, or engrave it, whatever you can do to put your numbers in there, or just write cash out above it. I believe on the actual derby, if I remember right, it's just a normal button like this, actually a little small white button to cash out. It doesn't say cash out on it. I used actual casino cash out buttons. They were a lot more expensive. They were probably, $10 each, but I just thought it looked better, so I went ahead and did that. Don't have to, but it's an option, so options are good. Okay, so let's plug this switch in real quick. So as I mentioned before, front one is the signal, middle one is power plus 5 volts, the back one is ground. I'm going to plug the ground in. I haven't really switched anything on my circuit here, except I don't have it counting to 5 anymore. So I'm going to plug the ground. I'm just going to use the same ground there, plus 5 volts. Just share signals, and then I'm going to plug my signal into pin 8. Why not? Alright, let's go change the code. So we need to declare the switch pin. Switch pin as 8. I did change it a little bit. I don't have count plus plus and so on anymore. I had to test this before I put it on there. So we're going to say if digital read, we haven't done that yet. Digital read is, we have to declare first. Pin mode. Switch pin is input. We haven't done that yet. So digital read, which for an input pin is just like digital write. So digital read switch pin. If it's equal to high, we're going to go count plus plus. And we'll leave everything else the same. We'll go ahead and upload that. Okay, I'm going to push this and we'll see what happens. I'm getting all sorts of crazy numbers here. Okay, so we gotta figure out what's happening. When I push this, however long it takes me to push it, 300 milliseconds or whatever, it's already ran through this program, 10, 15, 20 times. So that's why I'm getting the crazy numbers here. So there's a couple things I can do. The easiest thing is I'm just going to delay it about a half a second. It'll give me enough time to push it down and pull it back up. Now if I push it, goes the 1. Again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. And that is a 7-segment LED with a button. Next time, I believe we're moving to a 2x16 LCD display unit. So we'll see you then.